how did you, I mean, you're a new business. You've been around for 5 months. The first year sucks of every new business. But you've been profitable pretty quickly, which is highly unusual, but that's probably the nature of the beast that you are fighting. But how did you go from you have an idea to I now have customers? How did you find them? Where did they come from? Like, I always talk about when you start a business, you have two phases. You have before you're awesome and once you're awesome, right? Before you're awesome, your only job is to get the word out, to get your name out there for people to give a crap, right? How did you do that? How did you get profitable in 3 months?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And first of all, by keeping my costs like super low, right? Then it's really like if I projected out my annual costs and I'd made more than that. My first year annual costs, made more than that on week 3, right? So like that's what I mean by profitable. Profitable doesn't mean I have salary replacement income from working at like a law firm that's been around for 40 years, but I'm well on my way. I might get there in year 2, if not sooner, if things pick up, right? But certainly like. I mean, because profitable doesn't necessarily mean rolling in it. Profitable means I've more than paid for my expenses, anticipated annual expenses. But one of the ways I was able to do that is, and I will actually talk to high school students and college kids who are thinking about law school, and I tell them this: you just got to be super nice to everyone you meet for your whole life, really, right? I mean, especially when you're in a business like legal, right? Because people need to hire you for whatever reason. And if they can't hire you, you could refer them because we have certain ethical prohibitions on fee sharing outside of the legal profession. Like referrals back and forth among attorneys is actually huge for like generating revenue for your firm. So like if I'm able to refer people out and that firm makes money from it, it's not like required that they send me a referral fee, but if they want to keep getting business from me, they will.
Sure.
Right. And so really I teach likability and reliability. If you're just likable to everyone you meet, but you're also easily you have to easily like other people, right? It goes both ways. And if you're reliable to other people, meaning they know, they could count on you, but you could also then rely on other people. If you do that throughout your life, generally speaking, you're going to develop relationships really well. And especially in a business like law, relationships are everything when it comes to generating business. People hire you because they like you. I mean, they also hire me because I'm like the most affordable attorney in town, right? Or at least in the state. And that's part of it. I'm competing on price. That's where I've chosen to compete. And the reason I could do that is because I leverage technology like up the wazoo. Automation and a lot of, I lean into automation as much as I possibly can. I welcome my AI overlords. When I have like natural language AI, I could ask a legal query to, and it could spit out a bunch of legalese to me, and then I could translate that for the client. That would make my job even easier. Then I actually have to go on and manually search using legal research tools. But it's all about just building relationships and letting people know. So really I've been practicing law for 8 years, right? But I've been building relationships my whole life. And when I hung my own shingle, as we say in the business, when I started my own law practice, I let everyone I know that I've started my own law practice, and I've gotten business from friends of friends, right? And friends of friends of friends, right? So 2 degrees removed, 3 degrees removed, who they needed a lawyer, and they found out through the grapevine, oh, well, Kerbis just launched his practice, and he's really great. And it actually looks like a pretty awesome model that I've never heard of before, and it's really easy to schedule time to talk to him. And so I've gotten clients from through high school friends, through elementary school friends that I've just maintained a relationship with who have sent me business.
So just to be clear, I'm circling back a bit. When you say you're profitable, that is not including your own salary, correct?
I have not decided what I'm paying myself for a salary yet. That is correct.
That's fair.
I'm only five months in. I got to figure out, But since I'm building a SaaS model, with a year's worth of data, I think I'll be able to identify what my salary should be. But yes. That is an important distinction, David. I'm glad you brought that up.
That's very cool. Very cool. So you mentioned technology. Obviously, I'm a developer and I nerd out really easy. So how did you build this? You mentioned no code, low code kind of stuff. So what is your technology stack and how did you get it built?
So I demoed 100 plus different softwares of all different sorts of things, right? So when it came to scheduling, HubSpot, Acuity, Calendly, I tried out all these different technologies, and I was using a lot of them in like volunteer leadership that I do. So like through the American Bar Association, and like I'm on some like nonprofit boards and like things like that, right? So like I was testing these tools in the real world as much as I can when they came to non-legal technology before deciding which ones I wanted to use for my business. And then there's actually been a lot of venture capital flowing into legal tech very recently. So there's been all these new legal tech companies that are like, we're just building technology just for lawyers to use in their practice. Many of them are having a hard time finding a footing because they increase efficiency, which billable hour attorneys don't want to do.
Sure.
Right? But I've been having a field day with them. There's like, it's still early on, like there's machine learning AI that helps analyze contracts. And so instead of me needing to spend 20 hours analyzing an M&A deal, like I could throw it into the legal AI. It could spit out a bunch of problem clauses. We could start there, and then I can, make my way through the contract, at a more reasonable pace, right? And so like there's tools like that. There's document automation where I could either get pre-made legal documents that have built-in automation. So like I have access to one of those tools. And then there's another tool where I could go in and I could build out the automations that I want in different Word documents. But it all takes time. It took many weekends.
Thank you so much. Hey, if someone had a question, Gary, what would they do?
They could email us at hello@thebigpixel.net, or they can go to any of our social media channels or YouTube page, leave a comment, post a question, whatever you want.